mga katribu, welcome to another episode of Straight Talk, where we discuss current issues that matter to each of us. This is Gigie, Arcilla.
Good morning mga katribu. I am Chito, Lozada. We are live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube.
This morning, we have the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to discuss with us the diplomatic and economic relations between their country and the Philippines, and how the two countries support each other in the international arena. Now let us welcome the Ambassador of Germany to the Philippines, Her Excellency, Ambassador Anke.
Yeah.
Good morning, and thank you for having me, Gigie and Chito. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's our honor, Ma'am.
And it's an honor, more than honor for us, because the ambassador will be leaving for
Yes,
Germany
unfortunately,
4 weeks from now.
after 4 years, it's gone down to 4 weeks only.
So they've
But,
been busy 4 years since
It's been
covered
very
pandemic.
busy 4 years, and of course it's never boring in the Philippines. But there has been, well, it were different times. It was pre-pandemic, and then the 2 years of the pandemic, and then with the presidential election, a new era in the past year. So very interesting 4 years.
Yeah, so many things happened in 4 years.
And I'm really sad to have to leave now, where so many things are put on track and getting into motion. And but that's the way it is for diplomats.
That's the way it is, Ambassador.
Yes.
So our first question is, Ambassador, so how long is the relations between the Philippines and Germany?
The relations between our two countries have a long tradition, and I think we are all aware, both the Filipinos and the Germans, that we have a very strong connecting point with the Philippine national hero, Jose Rizal, who used to live in Germany for more than a year. So many Filipinos I met had been to Germany, traveling to Heidelberg, where we have where the house where Rizal stayed during that time lived in, and there's a memorial there. And he also stayed in Berlin, and there is a plaque on the house where he used to live, which is very close to the Foreign Office. So there is a strong historical connection between Germany and the Philippines. But formalized the diplomatic relations we do have now for nearly 70 years, so 7 decades, and next year we will celebrate the anniversary of 70 years of diplomatic relations. And of course we are already looking forward to this and preparing, and are in a kind of brainstorming mood with our partners, Philippine partner organizations, to prepare
So it's
the
going to be a
anniversary.
grand celebration.
Yeah.
Imagine it's 70 years.
Yes.
The
Something to
The
celebrate.
celebration would be both in Germany and the Philippines.
I hope so. To be honest, I haven't discussed it with the Philippine ambassador. I haven't mentioned it. I should have mentioned it. I met her last week when I was in Berlin, and I was lucky enough to have the Philippine Independence Day, the celebration, the ceremony here in the Philippines, in Manila. And I think in the intro you showed me in this photo with the designer dress designed by June Escario, and it was a great initiative of the First Lady to invite the lady ambassadors stationed here in the Philippines to wear dresses, appreciating the Filipino handicrafts and design. And June Escario designed the dress for me, and I was really very happy to wear this.
And looks nice.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
I
carried
mean,
so
it
well,
really
Ambassador.
was really a kind of culmination after 4 years to have this dress designed for me, and to have this Filipiniana, so great initiative. And then immediately after, I went to Berlin and for some administrative issues I had to deal with. But then I was lucky enough to have been invited also to the reception of the Filipino embassy in Berlin for the reception of the National Day. So I had another occasion to celebrate Philippine Independence Day, and I met the Philippine ambassador there, and we exchanged about several issues that we are working on and that are evolving. And in the context of the very dynamic and growing more intensely bilateral relations, but actually somehow I didn't come to mention the anniversary of next year and what the Philippine embassy is preparing. I will do this in summer when I go back. I will bring up this matter.
I'm sure you would.
Yes, I will bring it up, and I think we can have some joint projects and some joint events. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Germany is known. I mean, close to the heart of Filipinos. You know, Oktoberfest.
Oh yes,
Oh,
there
yes.
is a lot of
In
events the
October.
Filipinos like here.
And
German events the Filipinos like here,
Yeah.
like the Oktoberfest, of course. Yes.
beer drinkers, you know.
There's
enjoy.
more to Germany than the Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, trade is booming between Germany and the Philippines, and Germany is one of the biggest trade partners of the
Yes.
Philippines.
Yes, Germany is the largest trade partner, largest European trade partner
European
of
trade
the
partner.
Philippines, and Germany is an export nation. Germany is, Germany is the fourth largest economy worldwide, and Germany is known for its strong industry and strong economy. And of course, this also means it needs a strong outreach to the world. And with the Philippines, we are the largest European partner, but overall, the trade volume still has some room to grow, I think, and I think we're on a good way. So the previous years, the trade volume, the bilateral trade volume between Germany and the Philippines used to be around 350 billion peso, and last year we saw an increase already to 450 billion peso. So I think we are on a good way, but there is room for more.
what are the top products that are exported to Germany, Philippine products?
Germany is known for its industry, machinery, manufacturing, electronics. So these are our important sectors. When it comes to exports to the Philippines, machinery, engineering is an important sector of the German economy. So relations in this regard are important. Chemicals, the German chemical industry is really a global asset. So this is also an important export group for the Philippines, and vice versa. It is electronics, semiconductors being assembled here in the Philippines, then exported to Germany, and of course the food products we love from the Philippines. But I think there's room for more.
What food products?
Fish takes a huge part. Germans love fish, and of course we love the fruits that are being produced, that are growing here in the Philippines, and we should work on this. There is a huge interest, especially in the organic products, organic agricultural products. There's a huge interest and market in Germany, and the Philippines has a lot to offer in this regard. agricultural products in general, agriculture and food products. I think Filipinos love food, love to eat. The import of food is also important for us. Although we have seen challenges over the past 3-4 years for meat products. The meat imports from Germany have been banned. So far, chicken and pork cannot be imported to the Philippines from Germany. But this morning I read in the Philippine Star or one of the papers that there are efforts now to import more meat to the Philippines. So I hope Germany is among the countries that will be able to import meat products to the Philippines again.
What are the challenges? Is this because of the disease?
I think the reason for the ban was the avian flu and the African swine fever, but both of these have been really cooled down and nearly eradicated. So there are no cases. Or hardly any cases, and we are on in a good dialogue with the Department of Agriculture, and I hope that soon we will have the ban lifted.
So it means that the processed food, the
processed
cold
food,
cuts that we have in the market are locally produced.
The sausages.
The German sausages, Hungarian. I mean, all this.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I think wherever I go in the Philippines, the Filipinos love the food. They love German food.
Yeah,
so we should maximize the opportunities that we have for exchange in this regard.
And Madam Ambassador, Germany is also strong on helping small businesses, MSMEs, through aids and financial packages.
Yes, I think we have a very close and strong cooperation throughout, not only for the small businesses, but throughout. And we have chamber, the German Filipino Chamber of Commerce here in the Philippines, which is very successfully working on promoting the trade and the business and economic relations. And for Germany, of course, we have global players like Siemens, like Lufthansa, like Bosch, like Mercedes, and they are all here represented in the Philippines, working also here in the Philippines. But of course, the strength of the German economy is with the small and medium-sized companies, and to engage with their Filipino counterparts. This is something that our GPCCI, the Chamber for Commerce and Industry, is engaged in, and to promote, to make the connections. And right now, after the pandemic, we luckily see more and more business delegations coming in, exploring the ground and exploring the potential, seeing where they can work with Filipino partners.
Do you have existing beneficiaries of MSMEs, existing beneficiaries who have been given grants or assistance by the German government?
What grants and is not. I mean, funding is one part, money is one part, but I think it's also what is at least equally is important is to make the work of the small and medium enterprises sustainable. So to get them engaged in sustainable and long-term relations with their German counterparts, to have them participating in trade fairs in Germany, to have capacity building, to get engaged in vocational training. And this has been a success story we have done here in the Philippines in several sectors, to have to assist in vocational training for enterprises to make them competitive in the market. And to make them successful, or to helping them becoming successful also in the long term. But what we also are doing, what Germany is also doing, is providing assistance for the overall development of the country. And this, of course, also includes the small and medium enterprises. And we have the GIZ. I think everybody knows the GIZ as a very important player here in the Philippines that is doing development projects, climate change related projects, but also working in promoting and supporting small and medium enterprises, in establishing them, in making them competitive. And GIZ is working all over the Philippines, and in Mindanao, in Luzon, in the Visayas. So I think we have a very vibrant relationship that also involves small and medium enterprises. And only last month, I think it was in May, I was lucky enough to have been to travel to Tacloban, when we had our special envoy for international climate action here in the Philippines, and the GIZ is doing a project there with farmers, with small enterprises, to promoting and to helping them in adapting to climate change, to farming, to sustainable farming, and supporting them in their efforts.
Regarding climate change, are you? I mean, Germany does Germany provide assistance in terms of the shift in the energy transition?
Yes, these are my two favorite subjects. One is the International Climate Initiative. Germany launched more than a decade ago. And the Philippines has been a partner country from the very start, because analysis shows, and I think everybody in the Philippines is aware, that the Philippines is heavily affected by the impact of climate change. So from the very beginning, the Philippines was identified as a partner country, as a country that we should support with programs, joint programs, and funding in climate change related assistance. And till now we have several projects and programs being implemented all over the Philippines to support the Philippines in their adaptation and mitigation efforts for the climate change impact. And so this really is a priority for the embassy, to cooperate and to partner with the Philippines in climate change. And last month we had, for the very first time, bilateral climate consultations, and we launched a new platform, Climate Talks Philippines, where we could discuss issues of mutual concern, and how to develop solutions together. And I think this in the Philippines we really see a very committed partner for climate change, and it's really good and reassuring to see that the Philippine administration, that President Marcos Jr. Shows his commitment to working on climate change related issues, and to partner with European countries, with Germany. Last week in Germany we had the preparation conference for the COP28, and I already met some Philippine participants who returned from the conference in Bonn, and were very excited about the cooperation and the partners and the interest they met in working on climate change related issues together with Germany. So climate change really is and remains remains a priority for us. And the other part, renewable energies, energy transition, is something that is of utmost important, of course, for Germany, where we are in this transition to renewable energies and climate neutrality. Very committed to move towards renewable energies and give them priority. But also to support the Philippines in their energy transition, and it was really very good to see that the Philippine administration sees Germany as a major partner in the renewable energy cooperation. When I for the first time met President Marcos Jr., this was the first thing he mentioned, partnering, working together with Germany in the renewable energy sector. And I think the Philippines has a huge potential, be it solar, be it wind, be it geothermal, and there is still a long way to go. I mean, of course, the energy transition from fossil fuels to renewables, but also when it comes to energy supply and energy security. And I think President Marcos always makes this point, the modernization and the upgrade and the development of the Philippine economy is very important. But what is an essential precondition for this is the energy supply. Correct. And there is, of course, the shift, the energy transition from fossil to renewables, but also the upscaling of the energy production. And here the renewables really can make the difference, and Germany is interested. German companies, that is what we are seeing right now, have an interest in getting engaged here in the Philippines, partner with Philippine companies on renewables, and we are on a good way, I think.
Good track.
Yes,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right
But we have to do more, and it needs commitment from both sides, from the Philippine sides, from Germany, and what we of course also see here are some challenges and hurdles, not only for the renewable energy sector, but for business and companies, for investors. A lot has been done in the past few years. The tax reform, new laws that make it easier for foreign investors to come to the Philippines, but there is still a lot of and there is still a heavy bureaucracy, and the Philippines, of course, is competing with other countries in the region where German investors, German companies look at. So I think we have to work together to make it happen.
The Philippines is still heavily coal dependent in producing energy.
So
Yes.
we'll talk about more of the potentials, potential partnerships in other fields between the Philippines and Germany when we come back after a short break.
Okay.
Magtitiis ka na lang ba sa e-wallet at lumang bank apps mo?
Struggle! I can't receive payments na.
I need to go to the bank branch to deposit a check pa.
Singilan na. So hassle to do it one by one. I need to send my bank deeds again and again.
Tiis no more! With UB, hindi ka na mahahassle, hindi ka na magsistruggle, at hindi ka na magte-travel pa to the bank branch to transact. Ayos? Ayos! Download Union Bank online now.
Nasa kamay mo ang swerte, ngunit hindi ito isang laro na para lang sa'yo. Dahil bukod sa pag-asang maging milyonaryo, ang pagtangkilik mo sa loto at ipapang produkto ng PCSO ay nakakalikom ng pondo para sa mga programang pangkalusugan, tulong at serbisyong medikal at kawang-gawa.
Lahat ng minimithi makakamtan sa PCSO.
Welcome back to Straight Talk.
Yeah,
A while ago, before the break, we were talking about renewable energy with the ambassador.
Yeah. So we shift to the human resources. I mean, the people in Germany, Filipinos, the healthcare workers. Would you like to give a rundown on how Filipinos are faring in Germany?
Yes, I would like to. I got excited about my favorite subjects. I work here, or the embassy works here in the Philippines. So climate and renewable energies is one, but healthcare workers, Filipino healthcare workers, the recruitment of Philippine healthcare workers to Germany is a major issue, and it really has been for more than 10 years. This year we are celebrating another anniversary, so not only 70 years of diplomatic relations next year, but this year we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Triple Win program that was launched 10 years ago. For the recruitment of Philippine healthcare workers to Germany. And it's since its start, it has been very successful. It comprises a language component, the recognition of the professional qualification, and then a sustainable deployment to Germany with a responsible working contract, social security, and integration courses, and the Philippine healthcare workers being taken care of when they arrive in Germany with a secure contract. Being on an equal pay level with their German colleagues. So this is really a win-win or triple win for the Philippines, for Germany, and for the individual healthcare worker and their family. So that's why it's called triple win. Yeah. And this has been a major issue for us here in the Philippines, for the embassy. Because there's a growing demand of healthcare workers, but also of skilled labor in other sectors. So healthcare really is the largest part. So far, I think we have more than 6,000 Philippine healthcare workers currently in Germany. We would like to have more. We would like to have many more. But there are challenges to it.
How many is that more, Ambassador?
So far, or currently, I think we see a gap of nearly 500,000 in Germany. It's in hospitals, in homes for senior citizens that need to be taken care of. And we have a demographic challenge in Germany.
Okay.
So here in the Philippines, the average age of the population is, I think, 23.
23, yeah.
In Germany, it's double. So we have an aging population, and we need immigration. We need skilled labor immigration, and that's why we are reaching out. We have reached out to the Philippines, especially in the healthcare sector. And I think the bottleneck really is the language courses. We have the Goethe Institute and other language institutes that are providing the courses. But we need more Philippine healthcare workers in Germany. We have a lot of private agencies. We have the GIZ that is working with the Philippine government on the recruitment, and we wish to have more applications, more interest, and more language courses, and working
So
on this.
500,000,
And
Chito.
this is a huge gap,
Quite a
because
huge
we
gap.
see the in the coming up that people are reaching retirement age in Germany in the next few years. So there is a huge gap.
What are the challenges? Language,
Language is a
courses?
challenge, and we see that this is something we have to work on in Germany. So we have, for the first time 3 years ago, Germany adopted a new law on skilled labor immigration, and we really wanted to go big on this, but then with the pandemic, everything was somehow put on hold, and now after the pandemic, we do this outreach to the Philippines, but also to other countries, to recruit people from other countries, but only where we can do this on a cooperation, on a partnership level. So not to have a brain drain, but really where we can cooperate and have the agreement of the government to this recruitment. And we are right now in Germany in the process of softening the requirements, especially when it comes to the recognition of the qualification, of the graduation certificates, of the language issues, because we see that we need to ease the requirements to have the deployment and the immigration that we know. And we are here in the Philippines also currently exploring other sectors that the Philippines could be interested in. And we see this in this, especially in the service sector, because the Philippines, I mean, we know that the service sector is a great strength of the Philippines. So restaurants, hotels. To the whole tourism sector is where we also see a huge demand in Germany. And I was, as I mentioned, in Berlin last week, and in every restaurant and all the service areas, you see we hire, we are looking for. And restaurants even in Berlin are closed for one day per week, not because there is not people who want to go to the restaurant, but because there are no people working in the kitchen, and the staff that is working in the restaurants. So this is a growing gap that we are seeing. So I think this is something we would like to scale up, but we also see that the Philippines wants to partner with many countries, with other countries, and we are looking forward to sitting together with the Philippine government and authorities involved to discuss the best structure.
I see. The 500,000 is just for...
This is just for
the
the healthcare
workers.
workers in the next few years. But I think when it comes to skilled labor and immigration, we are talking about millions in the next few years.
I'm just curious, Ambassador, what is the population of Germany?
We have in Germany a population of 82, 83 million, plus minus maybe 83 million, more or less. So the Philippines 110, 150
Yeah,
million.
110,
So
Yeah.
Philippines,
So
it has a much higher population and a much younger population.
quite.
is there a law in I'm wondering why yeah, very scarce. I mean the human resource. Why is it very scarce in Germany? Is there a law on how many children?
No, we would like to have people to have them more children. So there are incentives given
Yeah.
for families who have 3 children or more, that there is tax reduction, or you have to pay less when you go to a restaurant or go to a hotel. So there are certain incentives, but still, I think we are in a situation, in a similar situation as many other economies,
Developed
in
economies.
European economies are, or Japan or Korea. They are in a similar situation with the same kind of demographic composition.
An aging population.
An aging population. We are trying to give incentives, and it's working somehow, but it's a process, and it's
Yeah.
also a slow process. For me, I must say I'm above average. I have 3 children, but
That's just about the average of
the
a
average
Filipino
is about
family.
half of that.
3.
So 1.4, 1.5. I have 3 children, so this is double the average.
That's double. So it's just about 1.
1.4,
One per-
1.5 children.
So
This
does,
is the
does
average.
it mean, Ambassador, that it's very rare in Germany, to see a family with 6
12.
children?
Absolutely
Or
rare.
12.
Yes, you don't see this, no. I think 1 or 2 children is the average, but we try to give incentives to have for families.
In the Philippines, it's
It's the other way around.
Yes.
it's the other
It's
way
the other way
around.
So there is a potential to come together and
Yeah.
to maximize this
Do-
potential.
is Germany in the list of? I read somewhere that you invite immigrants, and then if a family relocates or decides to to relocate to a country, and then they provide incentive like 1 year subsistence. They provide a house. Is Germany?
Yes, there is the support and incentives when it comes to the rent, or for renting a house, or for the healthcare insurance, for social assistance. I mean, there are incentives for families, and this is what our immigration law and immigration regulations are about, because we are very much aware that we need, of course, immigration, but we also need the incentives for families.
Is cultural integration a problem? I mean,
Do you have an
Filipinos
idea,
come there.
Ambassador, how much does a nurse's salary in Germany is?
Oh, to be honest, this is difficult to say. I think we also see the challenges of the current economic situation, and that we have seen during the pandemic. But for the nurses, they have they see a very since the pandemic seen a very strong support and lobby, because everybody has seen the importance and the relevance of the healthcare sector. But at the same time, we see that it's really hard work. They have to work in shifts, and they it's I think it's a burden to work in stressful situations, and this needs to be honored and needs to be appreciated, also when it comes to the financial part. The workers in the healthcare sector, in the hospitals, they have a decent salary, and no matter whether the healthcare worker is from the Philippines or from Germany or from another country, there's an equal pay. So same work, same pay. And if you are working in night shift or also, then of course there is a topping up. So all this is being taken care of. But for families, there is of course also a support in social housing and support being granted. So we try to give incentives, especially to the sectors, in the sectors where we see this demand. And for the integration part, there is integration courses, and this is also part of the Triple Win program that I mentioned. Not to have Philippine healthcare workers being recruited to work in Germany, but to also provide them with language courses, language training, but also integration courses. And once they arrive in Germany, it's an ongoing process. So they have their contact, their focal person, they have the nurses associations, and there are successful Philippine nurses association in Germany. And I think there are some success stories there. I think Philippine nurses can have a good time in Germany with their families. I mean, the good thing about recruiting to Germany is that we are open to also bring your family. So we are recruiting the person who is working in Germany, and but we are also open that that these Filipinos bring their families, because I think it must be really hard for OFWs to be separated from their loved ones,
So
from their family. So this is, I think, an issue that we see and we want to address. Since we are in this a challenging demographic situation, we are also open that the people who come to work in Germany also bring their families.
So it's going to be a package deal,
Yes.
Chito.
Yes.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
How do you view the ASEAN? Do you see the Philippines as separate from the ASEAN as a market? I mean Germany. Do you?
Yes, ASEAN is I think a very important and very relevant multilateral regional platform. The Philippines currently has the coordinating role. It's a rotating role, a rotating chair, and the Philippines currently is the coordinator for the relations between ASEAN and the EU, and it was really good and an important signal. I think that President Marcos last year went to Brussels himself for the EU-ASEAN summit to promote and to underline the relevance the Philippines is attaching to EU-ASEAN relations, be it in the trade and economy, or be it in other relations like climate change cooperation. But we are honoring this, and we are appreciating this format of ASEAN, and I think multilateral formats, regional formats, are what really is important to successfully addressing challenges, global challenges and regional challenges. And we are supporting Germany, and the EU as a whole are supporting and working with ASEAN, with the ASEAN member states, but also with ASEAN as such, to addressing the challenges in the region.
About
Ambassador, do you think the cultural and the historical ties between Germany and the Philippines a factor in the current diplomatic ties?
I think absolutely. The people-to-people contact. I mean, you can speak of political relations and signing agreements. Of course, it's important. But what really brings everything to life is the people-to-people contact. People that really make it happen, that are interested in the other country, that are traveling, that are learning the language, that are studying in a university in the other country, and be ambassadors of their country by going there, by traveling, by talking to people. And I think sports is an issue. So we have just seen the special Olympics, special games in Berlin, and there was a delegation. There were sports athletes from the Philippines. So they are ambassadors of the Philippines, and this is how bilateral relations work, and this, I would say, soft diplomacy really is very relevant, and I'm already looking forward for the basketball.
FIBA.
Exactly, the FIBA being here in the Philippines, and hopefully the German team making it to the finals and the semifinals, and coming here to the Philippines.
So it hasn't been decided yet to represent Europe in basketball, I mean.
Well, Germany has to. I think Germany has to make it to the semi-finals and to the finals, because they are starting off in Japan. I think the FIBA is taking place in 3 countries.
Correct.
And
Germany.
the opening games
Germany.
are in different countries, and Germany is starting off in Japan, I think.
In Japan.
So, but I'm confident that the German team will make it to the semi-finals and hopefully to the finals, and then we will be here in the Philippines.
Yeah, hopefully we can be as good as you in soccer.
Yes, well, we are working on it. Not having been so successful in the past championship, but we are working on it.
I'm just curious. Is Germany a host to, training Filipino athletes?
Athletes. So I think Vienna went there.
Yes,
Paul Bolter.
We are offering, actually, Germany has a program to offer scholarships for sports athletes in Germany, for football, for soccer trainers, and for other athletes that have to qualify. To be honest, we don't see a lot of applications from the Philippines for this program. This should be more. We should be more active. So maybe we are getting more applications now. But sports really has this component of soft diplomacy that can really contribute successfully to bilateral relationships.
Yeah. Do you see challenges, challenges in the air? Or current challenges that might,
Like security challenges.
I mean anything, challenges that might affect, to further strengthen the ties between both countries?
Well, I think what the most challenging part is that successful cooperation and partnerships really needs the sustainable commitment from both sides, and commitment across the board, not only in one sector or not only from the private sector, but also from the government. And I think we have a very good track record, but we also see challenges. And I mean, if the government is not open for cooperation, not open for dialogue, not responding and accepting and respecting the values that the country has committed to, be it human rights, for instance, then this is a challenging part, and I'm sure you are aware that the human rights issue has been a factor and has been an issue in the past years that have made the relations between our countries difficult. The war on drugs that we have seen, and the disrespect for human rights that is a priority for us, and that we have really put on the table, that we expect the Philippines to live up to its commitments the Philippines has made by ratifying and by being part of the conventions, being a member of the conventions, the international conventions, then this also requires the commitment, ongoing commitment. So this has been an issue over the past few years, but I think we are now seeing big improvements and a very good potential for better relationships, but the potential is a potential, and you have to use the potential, and it needs the commitment. But I think we are on a very good track.
So is there a symbiotic relationship in terms of supporting each other in the United Nations arena?
In the United Nations, we have a very successful partnership. There are many issues that we are partnering and very closely cooperating on. Climate change is one, and I think the Philippines was among the first to sign and the Paris Climate Agreement. So this is a very strong part. And one issue that is very close to the Filipinos' heart is the migration. So the Global Compact on Migration, which Germany co-initiated and strongly supported, has seen a very strong partner in the Philippines. And the Philippines, I think, also was one of the first ones to sign and to ratify the Global Compact on migration. So the migration issue, the protection of migrants, this is something we have worked on very closely in the multilateral format. And then, of course, I think I have to mention, maybe I don't even have to mention this, but also the support of the Philippines and the commitment of the Philippines to support the Ukraine resolutions in the United Nations, the resolutions on supporting the Ukraine. This is something very strong and very important for us, and where we really appreciate the Philippines' commitment. And the Philippines is one of the few Asian countries that has supported every single resolution, UN resolutions on Ukraine so far, and is committed to peace and stability from an overall approach, and we really appreciate this. And this is something where we also see a strong cooperation that we want to continue in the multilateral arena with the Philippines. And I think the Philippines can probably also play a strong role in Asia to reach out to its Asian partners with their support. The support the Philippines has shown that other Asian countries could also be convinced to get there.
How far is Ukraine to Germany?
Very close to our heart.
By
very
plane.
close to our heart, of course. Well, I think in today's world, where we are a global village, nothing is far away. But Germany is geographically close to Ukraine. So there is Germany, then there's Poland, and then Ukraine. So it's very close.
How long is that by plane?
By plane, maybe 2 hours, maybe less.
Oh, that's near.
And Germany has accepted a very high number of Ukraine refugees to Germany. Of course, not as many as Poland, the direct neighbor, has done, and other countries also, European countries also have seen a strong influx of Ukrainians since the war, since Russia's war started. But Germany is a host country for Ukrainian refugees, but also for refugees from other countries, from Syria, from Iraq, from Afghanistan. So
How many Ukrainian refugees are
this
in
is
Germany
this
right
is
now?
difficult to say. Because of the visa and immigration procedures that we have. So the Ukrainians that already had a visa prior to when the war started could travel easily and probably didn't even register as refugees. So there's an easy movement that is possible, but I think approximately 700,000. But I think it's difficult to say because of the visa regulations we do have.
So,
Yeah,
that was a very,
very
engaging
interesting. So we just want,
discussion.
yeah, before we say our goodbye for this program. So in concrete terms, Ambassador, what are we looking at? I mean, in the near future, in terms of partnership or cooperation or assistance from Germany?
I think we are on a very good track, and I don't really like to speaking of assistance. I rather like to talk about partnership, because it really takes the commitment from both sides, and so I think we can look forward to many delegations, many high-ranking visits in both directions, and hopefully not only when it comes to business and trade fairs, but in all the sectors across the board. And I think we have laid the foundations for this, and see much more coming. And I think the 70 years anniversary of our bilateral relations is a good point of reference, and it's a good reason to come to the Philippines and to make our partnership and make our relations more successful.
Yeah, and hopefully we could have the German sausages back.
More than
More
food. Our
sausages.
relationship is more than food.
Yeah.
but it's an important component, I understand, especially for the Filipinos
Yeah.
who love food.
We love sausages,
Yeah, that's right.
especially from Germany.
So, Ambassador,
yeah.
so any parting words for our viewers, to Arcilla Tribu?
Well, since my 4 years tenure is coming to an end, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for 4 great years here in the Philippines. And I think when I arrived in the Philippines 4 years ago, it was love at first sight. I think the Filipinos are really an amazing people, and it's difficult to leave. So I will really miss the Philippines, and I take only very good memories with me. And I'm looking forward to coming back.
Yeah, and
You can take up residence here in the Philippines. We will always welcome.
Thank you very much for this invitation.
and the Philippines, of course, will miss you too, Ambassador. And thank you for the 4 years of being with, for the 4 years of Germany's representation.
Thank you.
Through Ambassador Anke.
Thank you. Thank you for all your support.
All right. So, thank you, mga katribu. This has been another episode of Straight Talk. And This is Gigie, Arcilla.
And I'm Chito Lozada, so
Tune in again next
tune in
week.
again next week.
Thank you, Ambassador.